Let me put a second. Take it up. Oh my God! On three. They're all dead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starladder Season 10. This is the C Division, and what will be the last day of the group stages. Beyond the Summit, bringing you the coverage. I'm going to be your host. This is KOTLGuy, but I'm not alone. Joining me on this one, it's going to be Mr. David GoDz Parker. GoDz, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Always enjoy casting my fellow Aussies here in Starladder or watching them play. So looking forward to their last match here. Playing with a few standards, and it is a dead rubber, unfortunately. But the last match in SCA today is a very important one to decide who goes to Kiev.
Yes, absolutely. So for this particular matchup between Mineski and Immunity, Mineski right now, they were sporting a group stage record of 4-6, and for Immunity, 3-7. And like you said, both of them, unfortunately, will not be in contention to make the trip to Ukraine and join the land. But regardless, they're here to show good sport and duke it out with each other, maybe for their fans, for girlfriends, and maybe just for us, and put on a good show. But yeah, the next match that's going to be on the docket for tonight is going to be between Execration and JR. And the winner of that very well may decide who is going to make the big trip. I believe if it's Execration to win, they will be making the trip to Ukraine, but if JR does, we might have a bit of tiebreakers between the three of them, including Titan. Am I right on that one?
Yes, so you are. So very interesting case there. We could be seeing a Filipino team going over to Kiev. Already one over in China at the moment in I-League, Rave, who are doing fantastic. So they were in the semifinals. I don't know if they won their semifinal match. I'm sure some of you guys in chat have been watching I-League, but for now, Mineski, Immunity, curious to see what comes from this game. 6.82 obviously has been the big mix-up over the Dota 2 scene over the last few days as far as competitive, non-competitive, whatever it may be. Dota's it's a new game.
Yeah, certainly, and it makes things a lot harder to predict. We got a whole new map layout. We got another freaking rune. All the heroes have been adjusted and tweaked around a bit, and, well, we're slowly beginning to see what the makings of a new meta slowly formed, and we might see some fancy pickups here. As a first pick, Leshrek has already been dropped on the field from your Aussie partners, the Immunity Dota squad. But they're still respecting the Void, interesting enough. Most teams have been just ignoring the hero, feeling like he's not value anymore, but feeling very 6.81-ish as they ban out the Void, ban out the Skywrath, grab that Leshrek. But look at this. On the side of Mineski, they get rid of Wisp and Ember. They pick up Nature's Prophet and a hero I have not seen in quite a long time, Crystal Maiden.
What is this, first to pick CM? Like, that's some serious respect to the CM. This is like the traditional support hero, but yeah, you get a little buff to the Frostbite. There's a little bit more damage now at each level, but not a game changer as far as Crystal Maiden's concerned. I think all the other changes kind of nerf CM because with the way all the new gold system works, supports get a lot more gold at the moment, so you kind of want supports that can do stuff with gold. And Crystal Maiden, maybe not the best for that. I guess you can farm like Blink Dagger, BKBs, trade off some big ultimates, but generally speaking, like having like a Ventral Spirit with a swap or something is just a lot more useful than a CM whose ultimate is very kind of hit or miss. Like, more often than not, your ultimate's not doing a whole lot as a CM in a team fight.
Very RNG based. Sometimes you could team wipe everything with pretty much the most potential damage in the game. Otherwise, you're stuck left flaccid with nothing really happening. If people were curious, the exact changes that happened to the Crystal Maiden, it's frostbite damage interval from 70 per 1 second to 50 per 5 seconds. So that makes the total damage now 150, 200, 250, 300. On neutrals, it can get all the way up to, I believe, like 1,000 damage or something like that. So huge amount of damage if you decide to go back to maybe an early jungling Crystal Maiden. And also the freezing field explosion radius has been increased from to 250. So that big RNG ultimate does cover just a slightly bigger field. So we'll see how Mineski decide to use it. I mean, it was a long time way back when people used to love to play Crystal Maiden, and now roaming around, maybe trying to take advantage of that frostbite potential. We'll have to see. But keeping with the chilling theme, they grab a Tusk as well. This is going to make things a little more interesting. Tusk also received quite a few, small changes as I quickly multitask to guess what it is. Not Huskar
Yeah.
here. Tusk, it's his ice shards. They were tweaked out, a bit. They no longer just kind of stop when they hit a hero. You can kind of decide when they will
10
stop. The
seconds
range has been
remaining.
increased up to 1800. They won't be destroying trees. The
Radiant
bonus speed of
team
his
pick.
snowball has been increased just a bit, and now your allies can actually click themselves into said snowball. So, even though this game doesn't matter, we might see some fun action coming out from Mineski.
Yeah. The new ice shard is kind of cool. It's a bit harder to use now, but it has a lot more. You have a lot more control over what it does. So in theory, you can do a lot more. And in theory, a lot stronger as well. But the fact that it's harder to
10
use, or maybe you
seconds
misplace
remaining.
it, also could create some problems with the ice shards. But ice
5
shards isn't really what the
seconds
hero's about. We're gonna get a Legion commander
Dire
from
team
Mineski
pick.
here. I've only seen this hero lose so far, and we'll see if
Yeah.
Mineski can fix that one.
It would be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 0% win rate hero at this point, just from the matches I've already seen. I believe it was yesterday that we got to witness one. It was ran as a support. Actually, I believe it was the first game, actually. It was Arrow Gaming. They ran a support Legion commander side by side and with
10
Lance
seconds
as a
remaining.
drow, and it ended up not working out so well. I mean, it helped in removing
5
any sort of
seconds
early
remaining.
harassment with the stuns, but really didn't come to too much. And before that, we did see Navi US in the hands of
Reserve time.
Korok, a 0 and 9 Legion commander, which pretty much led to no avail. But some teams still feel she's extremely viable, was nerfed a bit, but if you do get a Blink Dagger in her hands in a reasonable amount of time, you could have one of the best initiation tools in the game. But we'll have to see how Mineski handle with that. For the side of immunity, they get a hold of one of the old standards. They got their Sand King. They already got a little extra impale damage coming out from your Tidehunter ultimate. But now, His Holiness, the Omni
Radiant
Knight, has
team
been
ban.
grabbed up to add a little extra sustain onto the field. And we've seen him pop up a little more here and there, even as recent as the American finals, I believe, that you casted with Iori. Yep, yeah, it was. I know Sneaky Nexus Actions, they
10
try to run it
seconds
out.
remaining.
EG runs it from time to time in the off lane. Overall, pretty valuable hero, I'd say.
5 seconds remaining.
I think even before 6.82, where he got a few buffs, teams were
Reserve
starting
time.
to use and experiment with him. Korok running the safe lane, farming Omni Knight once with great success, and he was a great counter to the Void if you could actually get him off the ground. So a hero who is really hard to lane, but you find him the levels on the farm, and suddenly he can have a pretty big impact. So I like the Omni Knight pick, and he
10
did get a few small
seconds
buffs in this
remaining.
latest patch, so we could be seeing a bit more of him. And he's good against the Legion Commander.
Dire
This is going to be
team
like a
ban.
kind of typical carry Legion Commander. If whoever's getting jeweled, you can heal him up, do a bunch of damage back to the Legion Commander, or just use the Guardian Angel, and hey, they take no damage. So that's the more straightforward way of countering a Legion Commander.
Yeah, very nice. Or any sort of heavy
10
damage coming your
seconds
way, whether it be a
remaining.
snowball or an incoming Nature's Prophet. Hell, if you can get a hold of an
5
Agnum
seconds
Scepter, you might even
remaining.
be able to help out your towers from an incoming push from the Nature's Prophet. Put a refresher in there as
Reserve
well, and
time.
your team ain't going to be dying anytime soon. I'd like to see that kind
Radiant
of a flavor.
team
For
pick.
Immunity Dota, though, they are working with a fair amount of melee here. I'm a little concerned about that, so they can risk the being kited around quite a bit. They have a nice offlaner, or one of the best offlaners there is, in Tidehunter. Sand King could be your roaming support. Now, Leshrek, I don't know how they could be running this. We've seen some teams dabble with the idea of putting Leshrek in the mid lane, or he could be running side by side with Sand King. And if that was the case, the
10
placement overall, I'm
seconds
not too sure
remaining.
how it's going to go. Both Omni Knight and Tidehunter can be their off laners,
5
but
seconds
we'll have to
remaining.
see. Arrow Gaming ran Omni Knight in the mid lane under the hands of DDZ, and it
Dire
was
team
not
pick.
the best. So I don't know. I don't know what they're planning on doing with it. We'll have to see. For Mineski, though, they're going to round out their draft. They grab up Milady with Mirana. So what's to say about her? One of the most flexible and beautiful heroes in the game. I'm expecting her to be a little more aggressive, roaming around, and potentially going to be the support duo side by side with Crystal Maiden, who I guess, with Frostbite could lock them down in place like you get out of your Bane or your Shadow
10
Demons and
seconds
land up a good
remaining.
arrow.
Yeah, Mineski, they're representing the
5 seconds
female
remaining.
teams here. Three female heroes have been picked up with the LC and the Crystal Maiden, and
Reserve time.
I mean, who's to
A
say
rare
Tusk
sight.
might not be female? Come on. I mean, I don't know how you check that thing out, but, who knows? We could see an overall nice bluish, winterish hue kind of a theme as well. So I guess winter is coming here with the Mineski side. I don't mind that a whole lot, but I am a little concerned outside of that as far as how the synergy is really going to work, how Tusk can really deal with, what Legion Commander is going to be dueling. Nature's Prophet can offer you a split push and a little bit of extra pushing flavor, but aside from that, Crystal Maiden isn't adding a whole lot. Maybe some wave clearing with their Nova, Marana a little bit here and there. It's a little displaced, just in my opinion. I'm really curious how they're going to be able to bring it all together here. And well, for the side of immunity, they bring it all together with a Templar Assassin. So that's good. I'm not going to be seeing another Omni Knight in the mid lane. It could be just the Templar Assassin mid lane, but I'm curious to see how they're going to decide to lane up the other heroes. Could be just kind of more a roaming support, Leshrac Sand King, maybe a farming Tidehunter Omni Knight. I'm not too particular who the carry player is going to be for immunity. I know they have some stand-ins.
Often it's Balls is often the carry player, but yeah, they're playing with stand-ins and they'll be looking to put up their best showing here, but I don't know how serious this game is. They were asking me to stand in 5 minutes ago. I'm like, guys, you want to make a good last show? You don't want me playing Dota for you. So.
I wouldn't mind watching you there out in the field. Not to say I might have shit on you a bit if it didn't go so well, but
that was the fear. I was like, nah, I'm okay.
Maybe dust off your Omni Knight play, maybe a Leshrac here. I don't know what they're thinking, but we'll have to see how it goes. But we are going to have an early pause come out right here as the Templar Assassin does disconnect. So just to remind everyone once again, this game is a wash. Neither team is eligible to move on to the Ukraine part of the land, and just kind of duking it out for fun, hence the reason why we're kind of going with a few extra stand-ins here. The next game, though, it's going to be a real nail-biter, an exciting one. We might even find out if there is going to be a Filipino team that does make the long journey to the land, as this is the first season in Starladder where they did open up to the C Division. So real excited about that one. So we'll have to see how it goes.
It's great for the SEA scene. This is a scene that often gets forgotten by some of these tournaments. Some tournaments are just like, oh, we get a Chinese team or two and we're good, we're set. These are the teams who are definitely the more established scene and the more stable scene because they've got a lot more money in it. But SEA has got a ton of talent. Just not many sponsors or organizations willing to support it. So Starladder kind of stepped up and said, hey, look, we'll help you guys out. Get one of you guys to Kiev.
I'm happy for him, though, because Starladder is many consider as one of the biggest tournaments out there outside of the international itself, and some may even say the actual Dota season. And we've been impressed with a lot of the games thus far, though IceFrog did decide to drop this huge patch right in the middle of one of the biggest tournaments there is, and I know it did drop right in the middle of an even series between it was Navi US and the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. So we'll have to see as teams do slowly begin to adjust in that patch, and it looks like it will continue. Wow, is that a golden Doomling? Holy moly here. That is immunity sporting and flexing a little bit of their dollar bills here. Wow. I don't think I've seen one of those.
Bought that one, man. Yeah.
That's at least, $1,000 right now? $1,100 at one point, nearly $2K. I'm not going to call them out on how much it's worth, but that's a beautiful thing right there.
That's my boy Cynical. Well, the Korean esports dollar is paying off. He's played for a few of the different Korean teams. May have actually got it. I'm not sure if he was at TI. Yeah, he was at TI4. He was at TI4 as one of the Korean casters. So he didn't qualify. He plays for like one of the other teams. He was on the MVP Hot 6 for a while, but yeah, he was there as a caster. So I'm guessing that's where he got his little golden Doomling.
Nice. Well, he will be representing the Horned One, the Leshrac here, and we'll just see where he decides to go. Do you know, is he particularly a mid player? Is he going to be...
He's a support player.
Okay, so
on
potential
Leshrac.
roaming Leshrac support who's going to add a lot of extra pushing prowess. Very good stuff. Well, here we go. Pause underway here. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and roll through with those official introductions, starting out with your... I gotta let you have the dire side, I suppose, being the Australian guy. So right. I'll do Mineski real quick. So on your Radiant team, we do got Q gonna be playing your Tusk, still here by the fountain. Mr. Jacko gonna be playing your Nature's Prophet up by the off lane. We do have Play Hard playing your Marana, and of course we haven't seen this hero a whole lot often. The Crystal Main gonna be picked up by Jesse Vash, and finally that leaves down by the bottom lane. One of the newest heroes in the game, and, well, one of the heroes with probably the worst win rate starting out. It's going to be the Legion Commander, played by, well, what am I going to say? ...
To battle.
Yeah, and maybe it's Joven, if you're familiar with him. He often plays as ... but...
Okay. I can roll with Joven. It's better than triple period or something.
Yeah. Hey, it just rolls off the tongue, man.
Fantastic duel coming out from So, all right, I'll let you go ahead and take over. Tell me about these Aussie boys.
The other boys got some stand-ins. We'll start with them. In the offlane, it will be the Tidehunter being played by Mlad, who's an upcoming Australian player. We are going to see Fried Butterflies, the Filipino stand-in player, in a bit of trouble at the top river. He's on the Sand King as a support, so this is a Pinoy player, I think, plays for Team Canis. Bowls, the immunity carry player, is going to be on the Omni Knight. In the mid lane, it will be Shatan on the Solar Templar Assassin. And finally, another stand-in, the Korean player, it's going to be Cynical on the left track. A former teammate of some of these Aussies, though. So he used to live in Australia, so they know Cynical pretty well. And he should be able to fit pretty well right into this team.
All right, so we'll see how they decide to synergize it out as he does bull forward here in the top lane. And this is a bit of a throwback. I haven't seen an off-lane Mirana in quite a while. You know, we used to see it quite a bit back in the day. You know, given that she can be quite elusive with that leap, she can get what she wants and still be able to get away without taking too much damage. We'll see how they decide to play it out here for Play Hard. In that mid lane, it is a matchup between Nature's Prophet and Templar Assassin. Nature's Prophet, a little unorthodox for a mid laner, but as I've pointed out in the past, maybe we might see at the 2-minute mark, he could head on up to maybe get a hold of one of the runes and teleport to the bottom side and grab the other if you'd like, if you want to really take advantage of that extra mobility. But as far as, you know, CS goes, it might be a bit tricky for him, as already it is going to be Shatan. Do you have a personal favorite going on paper here between a Templar Assassin and Nature's Prophet?
Definitely with the TA here. I think Prophet, he can make up for. Well, TA wins on CS, but Prophet can roam and help the other lanes a lot more. So I think it comes down to how effective the Prophet TPs to other lanes and either ganks or pushes. So as far as the lane goes, yeah, it's definitely a TA favorite matchup. And with the new deny system, getting denies is a lot more effective here. So
that's right.
Shatan could theoretically do a lot better in this lane. He is playing on some nasty Australian ping though, so far he's actually not really ahead on CS. Pretty even with the Nature's Prophet.
Yep, and they're looking to make it work here. The 2-minute mark about to pop, and we're already going to see some contention. Arrow flies out, and a nice sidestep as he does have the vision of that Mirana coming in and allows him to quickly bottle up the bounty rune. On the bottom, though, it is Tusk who picks up that haste rune. He's going to turn the corner. And, you know, kind of second-guessing maybe he should go for some sort of gank, and he is going to, you know, bulldoze towards this mid lane here, hand-in-hand with that Crystal Maiden. And she moves so slow. So, you know, we'll see if she can manage to get in there and maybe make something happen against this TA. Meanwhile, that's going to leave the Tidehunter in his familiar solo offlane kind of a spot, going toe-to-toe with that Legion Commander. So we'll see how they decide to duke it out. Legion Commander really going required, but mid lane, yep, they're going to snowball right on forward here, but not going to catch with the Ice Shards. Remember, Ice Shards got changed up quite a bit, and maybe Cute might not be used to it, but unfortunately can't pincer in the TA, and, well, TA will avoid that incoming gank.
I think we'll be seeing a bit of that over the next week or so. And even when people get used to it, you want to try to get that really nice block off, and you can't just get the free block anymore. So in that way, the spell's been nerfed. In other ways, it's been buffed where you maybe don't want it to proc an arrow. But
top lane, they get the Burrow Strike and the stun follow-up, and there is your first blood. It's going to be Cynical to pick it up, and we saw a bit of a small hop pursuit. And, you know, it looked like Mirana was tempting fate. She wanted to wait out before using her leap, thinking she could maybe time the Burrow Strike. But Burrow Strike being one of the best stuns in the game. It happens so fast, and the range can be a bit deceiving. And, well, she gets caught out and unfortunately hands over the first blood in her off lane.
All right, Aussie's off to a good start. I'm feeling very Australian today. We had our footy grand finals, so today of all days, I'm allowed to be biased towards the Aussies. But
I'll feel a little Australian. I mean, I am in your room. Yeah. The flag's right over here in the corner, so I guess I can feel that a little bit.
Good. Next time I'm in the studio, I'm going to make everyone watch some Aussie footy. It's quite a unique sport.
I might get sick that day. I don't know. We'll see.
It's good stuff, man. It's good quality sport.
Oh, they go for the shards this time. They actually get it timed properly, but he just walks away from that. Oh well.
Just taking some practice shots. I guess after the last missed one.
Well, bottom, the next rune contention, it is going to be a bounty rune picked up, and a DD going to be picked up from the top on that Mirana. No bottle for her, as, you know, might be something she considers here, and something that many teams have said already. With 2 runes now involved in the game, you might see some extra bottles picked up, extra people hitting said bottle, and, you know, maybe a roaming support or perhaps an offlaner moving over. Do you tend to agree with that? Are we going to see more bottles, more valuable in this game?
Yeah, I think we've already seen it a little bit. Like Universe on his Elder Titan was getting bottled. Certain supports can definitely benefit from it. I don't think you need it on your hard supports, but some of these heroes like 4th position Tusk pretty good bottle candidate. It is a bit like 700 gold though, so you can't get it super fast. You still need your boots first generally. But we're seeing a lot more Wisp already. That's definitely one thing we're going to see. Using the fact you get these double runes.
Yeah, Wisp not only has great mobility to get up with those runes right away, but of course taking real advantage of that bottle, sharing it not with himself but with others. Be careful of mono, of course, but he does definitely get it done. But it's kind of quiet on the Western Front here, you could say. 5 minutes in, only the first blood that happened on the top lane, but I think that works out relatively nice, more for maybe immunity here, allowing their Templar Assassin to just take advantage of getting that CS. Legion Commander, though, the queen of CS, I guess you could say, but she really benefits when she does start getting the pickoffs. Maybe she's going to wait till she can manage to get a hold of a Blink Dagger, but you want to start building up that bonus damage. That's what really makes her work, so we'll have to see if Joven or ... can really get the ball rolling on her snowball.
Yeah, and putting it in the trail lane does get the slightly slower level 6, but the guaranteed farm towards your Blink Dagger, so it's kind of, you get your ups with your downs, so we'll see how he does here. Bottom lane, they are putting a lot of pressure on him with a TP from Prophet. They wouldn't commit to this.
I love how he surprises him coming in from the east, but the Sprout's going to be to no avail as he just quickly uses that Tango and eats down one of those trees. But look at this, a counter rotation coming in for immunity. It's going to be cynical to move in here. Jacko's got to be careful. Oh, the split off going to be off the mark right there. But look who also joined the party. It's the Omni Knight. They jump in, they get one pick off. It's Leshreck to pick it up right there. And, well, there is going to be a clean getaway right there from, I believe was the LC back to the lane.
Ball's already with phase boots up, so even just the 1 point in the degen already, he's chasing people down and just hammering them to pieces. So
phase boots on Omni Knight, not going with the arcane boots,
Yeah, this
is interesting.
Much more battle ready build, but I can dig it. Something different.
He is going to have to make sure he hangs out, I guess, with the Tidehunter pretty often, who does have the arcanes. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about some serious mana usage. I mean, you're popping out already the regen, or not the regen, the repel and the heal, and you're already well past 200 mana for a guy who only has 300 as it is right now. That can get scary, and Guardian Angel can be quite mana consuming. So you're kind of hoping, though, you can put out a couple of those in at least one team fight. And he's using that extra move speed. Balls is running right towards Crystal Main. Like, get the hell back here. I'm going to take care of you. I got the Degen Aura. I'm looking to slam it home. Hammers are right in the backside. Boom, damage. And he drops a heal. Boom!
That's a thing of beauty right there. Oh, God.
Repels himself. He's like, I'm going to make the clean getaway. Nope. I got Tidehunter here. We're looking to roll on front. He's got Ravage. Oh, the snowball! Oh, very nice.
Emlad is going to be displeased about that one.
He just has to grit his teeth and walk away.
From the greatness of the Omni Knight whacking down a Crystal Maiden to a missed Ravage, that was
under attack.
This is already making for an entertaining game, which is nice to see out of one that doesn't really matter as far as tournament goes, but for these teams to really show some stuff like that. Burrow strike to fly on Amarana. Snowball's going to grab her up and dodges the heal, but he wants to move forward, actually. They got to be careful, but nice. They have the dust conveniently. They get the shards up, and what started as a rough start for Tusk, he's quickly turning it back with some big plays right there, and now Omni Knight has to retreat up to the north to get away from this hot situation. And oh wow, look at that! The fight recap actually works live. I didn't notice that. I hit the button there, you could see it, but K-Poptosis unfortunately might be out of the job. Meanwhile, though, they're moving forward. They take down the LC in the bottom lane, and they quickly rip them apart. They want more blood. They're moving towards Jacko. Jacko moving towards the side chip, but where the hell is he going to go here? He has no more TP to work with. Oh, there's just too many people around, and he gets slammed at home. And Cynical on the Leshreck moves on to a killing spree.
Yeah, the supports are getting some work done here. Well, I guess the Sand King did end up dying in the top lane, but he's got 1,600 gold. He's close to a fast Blink Dagger Fried Butterflies, so Immunity just moving around the map. Well, they lose a tier 1 tower, but this is the new patch. These towers do not give anywhere near as much gold as they used to, and just aren't quite as, snowbally. So I think Mineski not getting as good at trades as they would have been in 6.81 with the tower, not really giving us much.
I really like the action-packed game we're getting thus far. I was criticizing a bit of a slow start at 5 minutes, but now 5-1 as they begin to bulldog forward towards the LC. And, well, it looked like Nature's Prophet was ready to go to help out, but he actually might go here on the top lane. Oh, they were considering pushing forward towards this Omni Knight. Yep, they will. Surprise from the jungle as Jacko runs on in again. And, well, Omni Knight quickly heals and repels himself and looks to make a turn. And with those extra move speed, blasted for it. Oh, no. Deja vu for Crystal Maiden, but the Moonlight Shadow is going to save her. They don't have the detection, and they make a quick escape. So things were looking relatively scary. But, oh, yeah, mid lane.
They got the jewel.
Oh, very nice. The first duel kill and
is
the
under
first
attack.
bonus damage awarded for the LC, and so that's something you want to start to get the ball rolling on. But the lady stands strong, throws out the anchor smash, but unfortunately, that's going to put Mineski one more kill ahead now. 2-5, your new score. We'll take a, actually, as I say that, don't get careless. Unfortunately, Milady gets caught by Milady, the Marana, and gets taken down just like that,
Dyer's
assassinated
middle
on the
tower is under
backside.
attack.
Yeah, well sniped by Play Hard there.
Radiant's
And
top tower
they're
is
going to
under
try to follow
attack.
up with the tier 1 tower, so Mineski finding their footing a bit here. It's a bit of a trade for top lane where Shitan and Balls are going for a tier 1 of their own. Both teams with Glyph, which you should be using. Actually, Immunity had, yeah, there we go. Bell used theirs. Both of these Glyphs will refresh after the towers go down.
I'm glad that you pointed that out, but, you know, yeah, if you're not using your Glyph on the tier 1 tower, you're pretty much just wasting an opportunity altogether. But here we go, last second TP rotations. They want to make him pay for it. Jacko on the retreat, but man, the double slam. I mean, it was a bit excessive to take down Nature's Prophet, planning on getting that Tusk, but they were not so lucky to get both of them, and well, Immunity will grab what they can and just kind of shuffle back. But regardless, it is going to be a tier 1 for a tier 1 in the end. Early looks at the graph, you can see it's still relatively close, very even. What started as a promising, Immunity start at about 2K is now coming a lot closer to dead even there with those tower takedowns. But Immunity not letting up just yet. They want to go for a second tower here. With Shrek not pulling out the Edict just yet here, waiting for more wave clearage. There goes your Wrath of Nature to try to slow their roll. And he pops out the Edict here, and there's going to be your another Glyph popped out. Back-to-back Glyphs here make for, this kind of opportunity to not happen here. You're just seeing 6.82 in action, I guess.
Yeah. And that's where Lester kind of has to hold the Edict, because he pops the Edict, that's what Mineski are waiting for. They see Edict, they pop Glyph, and that's kind of when most damage is being dealt to the tower, and you can TP in and push Immunity back, which is exactly what they did. They didn't find any kills off of it. Immunity, with Urns, with Bottle Charters, they want to re-engage at mid lane.
Yep, and they're gonna stand strong here. Mind you, no Ravage available, but the Omni Knight does have Guardian Angel to work with, and as he throws out a heal and without a hold of Arcanes, he might have to be cautious about his mana pool. Now, he already actually has a Vitality booster. Balls might be considering going for the new item, the Crimson Guard.
Yeah. I think Run of Atos may be a possibility as well. Whoa, Playhard gets a solo kill bottom lane. Ooh. But I think he had a starting item, Stout Shield. I think he might just be going for Rod of Atos here, because you mentioned he has a lot of mana problems, so I feel like if he picks up a Vanguard here, he's going to have ridiculous mana problems. Yeah. He's got to get something which boosts up his mana, be it something like a Drums, a Soul Ring, or I think a Rod of Atos would actually be a pretty strong item.
Yeah, good. It would work with additional slow. I mean, he already has plenty of it with that DJ Nora, but Hot Pursuit seems to be the motivation here for Balls. And and you're right. I mean, he does need a little bit more mana to work with. The Atos would definitely assist in that. So we'll see where he decides to go. A couple more big items come out right here. One of the new staples here for LC has been that Armlet, so she gets a hold of that one, adding huge damage, and that will help out excessively when she does pull out the duel. But also, a Templar Assassin Blink Dagger has been picked up. Not just that, but also has the DD bottled up, so might go for a quick pickoff here on Tusk if possible. Jump in, 1 big slam, 2, 3, and that's it. That's all it takes. Tusk falls just like that, and he doesn't even have the opportunity to get a snowball out for himself, as he really didn't have anywhere to go regardless.
Yeah, it just happened too fast. Nicely played by Shitan, and could pressure this top tier 2 tower. Probably can't bring it down, so maybe a bit too risky there, but yeah. Balls and Shitan just kind of moving around as this 2-man unit, defending their top lane earlier, going for the pushes. These two, just on their own, are getting a lot done right now.
Yep, and we do see a smoke pop out here, though, for Mineski. And at the same time, we do see behind the scenes, Immune trying to catch someone, and they're not going to get so lucky. And the other support combo and LC, they're looking
to Ravage here.
Yeah, they might try to flank, but yeah, there is a Ravage. There is a Sand King with an Epi here, so they got to be careful. They could go into a fight and end up just stubbing their toe. But look at this new path usage right here. They're looking to creep in from the side, and Moonlight Shadow is actually going to be popped out. I didn't see a ping, so I'm not too sure if they actually saw it. But that Courier, they get the Courier. Oh, nice snag coming out from Shitan, making use of that blink as they see the what looked like a bird rowing a boat. Was that the Courier? I guess it was.
Yeah, I think it's the TI4 Courier with the rowboat.
Fancy stuff.
Yeah, Mineski get this new observer down, which gave him some good vision of where those heroes were. The problem is they saw a Tidehunter and they're like, we don't really want to go on this Tidehunter. We want to play this carefully. So, yeah, I think for Immunity, just avoiding that smoke gank, holding up, still have the Ravage as well, so they can look to use this to maybe take a team fight in the next couple of minutes. And,
and that's the best thing they got
strong
going
position.
for them. Yeah, they got big team fight on their hands. They jump forward, coming out from Shaitan, looking to go toe-to-toe with LC, who's going to reserve the duel rather for now. Shards coming in from the north is cute to let him know, like, hey, I'm here, I'm present, so be wary of it. But for Immunity here, they don't have much late game, but as far as team fight goes, maybe some of the best you could see. Guardian Angel, Epicenter, Ravage, I mean, pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. And even with Leshreck there to power on some additional magic damage, you know, it's going to be on Mineski. They might be a little more pressure to maybe get some BKBs on their side.
Yeah, it feels like Immunity have like a lot of these kind of late game semi carries. Like even a support like Leshreck is a semi carry. You got UTA.
Uh-oh.
It'll be interesting to see how
the
they go.
Ravage pulled out and the Epi, all for poor little Legion Commander as they do catch him out and make use of those big ultimates, getting down the prime core target of Mineski. So nice grab right there, and I'll go ahead and show the fight recap, I guess, since I have the access to it. This is just so funny to me.
Yeah, this is good. Damage done total. A team fight where there was just 1,000 damage done to 0.
Yeah, it was pretty much
Good stuff.
one-sided, but I guess if you need to see the raw data, there it was for you.
Yeah.
So, well, here we go. Pressure to come here. Jacko had been very involved in teleporting and being moving into the fights, not doing too much Ratota, but yeah, bottom lane you can see right there with the last catch off its Playhard, who managed to take down Cynical on the Leshreck. So Playhard had a bit of rough start in her off lane, but making use now of roaming around and getting some quick pickoffs as we see.
He's had 3 solo kills with the Mirana. Tied at mid lane, you got another one at bottom lane, and then there's his third just then on the support Leshreck. So he's made a lot of plays just on his own, which has got him up to level 11. He's, I think, the highest level hero on the Radiant team because of all these solo kills, which is something fairly potent. You get the max arrow, max Starstorm at this stage of the game, you've got a lot of killing potential.
Uh-oh, they're jumping well past the tower towards Jacko. They pull out the dust as well. Guardian Angel to help sustain here as they look to push. And no, they will not be able to get a hold of Nature's Prophet. That Moonlight Shadow coming out from the Mirana, able to aid. And now instead they'll just sacrifice over that tier 1 tower. But it will be probably coming out a bit of a trade. Nope, they're just doing a bit of a side push there. But we'll see if they can go on forward. Legion Commander with that armlet, which is, you know, all in good fun as far as damage, but, you know, we'll see if she decides to save it for a Blink Dagger. It could have definitely helped out in that particular case, so we'll see if she decides to grab one for himself.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see the armor pre-Blink Dagger, but I guess just feeling confident maybe he can get snowballed into a fight with the Tusk and have the setup come from elsewhere, but we'll see Cynical now finally get the D-Ward happening. And, well, all in all, Immunity have a lot better map control right now. They are behind the tower, but they're the ones kind of dictating the flow of the play, largely because of the Ravage and Tide. Also finishing off a mech now, so when they've got the mech advantage, they've got a Ravage on their side, and just a much stronger team fight with all their big ultimates. Fighting into GA just not really possible for Mineski. So Mineski have to pick and choose their fights a lot more carefully. They're kind of trying to split push, try and find little solo ganks like the Mirana's been doing, and they're going to just kind of keep this approach up against Team Immunity.
Yeah, but, you know, it's just as risky here for Immunity because if they try to go for a team fight and they blow out their ultimates and it pretty much comes to nothing, they're going to be pretty much expended with nothing much left in the barrel. So they have to be cautious about that one. We've already seen a lot of potential coming out from Playhard here on this Mirana. They could look to follow it up with some big damage and already adding pressure here on the tier 2 tower. But also bottom lane, though, it is going to be a takedown of that tier 1 tower, and they didn't use the glyph for that one. So a bit of a misplay there from Mineski as they had a lot of attention on that mid lane.
Yeah, maybe just, yeah, but caught unawares perhaps, but
the prize is mine.
Immunity, they're getting more and more farm across the board. It will be the Crimson Guard, so Omni Knight says, mana problems be damned when you get this Crimson Guard, and Crimson Guard costs, okay, it's got 0 mana cost, so I wasn't sure if it had a mana cost, so I guess with no mana cost on the Crimson Guard, it's not going to cause too many problems, but you can't just spam Purification in fights. He's going to really just hold his mana all the time. And they can use the urns, I guess, for healing and the mech. but as far as the purification goes, it could be very conservative.
Yeah, I mean, for a team that's supposed to be going for big team fights, I'm sure they're expecting to fight as a group and employ that buddy-buddy system, and as long as the Arcanes are going to be shared around, Omni Knight hopefully shouldn't run into too many mana problems, as right now they go toe-to-toe with Roshan. They actually bring it down relatively quickly, and you can see already a little bit of extra use coming out from that Crimson Guard, as they don't take a whole lot of damage, and it looked like Mineski really had no idea it was even happening, so props to Immunity right there for grabbing the quick Aegis, and obviously it is going to go into the hands of Shaitan on that Templar Assassin.
And Mithril in hand too, so maybe a fast Desolator from him. Could go for the BKB, but I think that's just way too unnecessarily defensive. And there's the second Mithril, will be the Deso, so this is a nice and ballsy build coming out from the TA, and I think the kind of build that suits this game. You've got so much protection from the Omni Knight, and then you've got the backup disable and lockdown of a Tidehunter, a Sand King, a Leshrac, all with AoE stuns. So there should be a lot of space for TA to do damage in these fights.
And you're, looking at some pretty flimsy opponents here. Your Crystal Maiden is maybe lucky to stand up to 2 shots from a TA. So if she gets a hold of him, it's pretty much, good game for her. And, even Mirana with only 1k life and not really building into too much survivability. She does already have the drums, but
bottom lane.
Oh, it's going to be bottom lane looking to push on forward here as the big snowball to fly out. Leshrac trying to run around, turns back with an Edict, but well, Tusk with that Blink Dagger. Fancy stuff. Intimidates them with the big snowball, Indiana Jones style, and just promptly jumps back.
Very suitable name. Some cute plays coming out from Cute, and we'll see Playhard also escape a gank in the mid lane. Sprite Butterflies did not get the cooldown on the follow-up stun to bring him down. But the CM, so Jesse Vash has done very little this game, I'd say. He's 0-1-0.
Yeah.
Didn't do much in the late stage. I mean, this was a first to pick CM.
Yeah. I'm excited to see her back into seeing some play, but a lot of people would argue there's a lot of other options for supports that can get a lot of the same thing done. I mean, I don't know how much they value an Arcane Aura, but outside of that, you could have gotten like a Shadow Shaman, a Lion, anyone else who could provide much additional CC. But speaking of CC, mid lane, Cynical gets caught out with a very nice arrow. The Repel, it doesn't bring him out of the sun quite quickly, but it has to pull out a Guardian Angel, actually, to make sure he saves his Leshrac in need, and, well, he'll step back and TP out of that one.
Big ultimate use. Could have gone for a Purifier, or even just the Crimson Guard maybe would have helped out, which has no mana cost, but
maybe he was worried about the Blinken or something to come their way, or a TP from Nature's Prophet or something, but I guess plays it extra safe. But yeah, that cost them a Guardian Angel, and that's a pretty big girthy cooldown, I guess, about 130 seconds or so. So it's going to be a long while, and if Mineski are onto it, they could look to push a team fight.
Yeah, and this Tusk is still being so annoying. He's constantly going bottom lane, pushing it out, and then using this snowball blink tactic to escape the immunity ganks that come in. He's just blinking in the trees, TPing home, and getting himself back to safety. So immunity just kind of being delayed if they maybe want to try and push with the Aegis. Well, it's not really happening. TA will get the Desolator now, which is the big damage up. But heroes who get blinked on by this could just instantly melt. CM two-shotted by this Desolator. I wonder if this would even come close to getting one-shotted by a Blink Melt Strike.
And for a second pick Crystal Maiden, that would be quite embarrassing. So hopefully that's not the case. And as far as snowballing and blinking back, it is cute. But you got to be careful. You're going against a fair amount of Blink Daggers here already on the other side. We got 3 of them, so if you blink in the wrong direction, you get caught out rather quickly. And already they're getting pressured here on the bottom, which I'm not really surprised. They're going to go for a trade tier 2 for tier 2 on the top, but it's Immunity trying to make a play happen here because the Aegis looking to expire here in about 1 minute 30 seconds. So they get the tier 2. They're not seeing a fight break out yet, so they might continue pushing here. They do have Ravage. They do have the Leshrac there to back it up with a little extra pushing flavor. No Guardian Angel, but also an Epicenter available. So they're going to hold strong here and keep going until a fight comes.
They'd love to have that Guardian Angel for the defensive capabilities, but the fact they still have Ravage and Epicenter is probably enough. Oh! There's your blink in. Decent damage. Elsie's pretty tanky, but sign of what's to come as far as this push is concerned.
Oh wow, this tier 3 falling very quickly forces them to pull out the glyph. Arrow to fly. Oh no, he can't get it off in time as he actually gets stunned with the arrow. Balls. Cotton spot, jump in duel, the big Tusk, the Ravage to follow up, ends up cleaning house in Mineski. Oh no, they could lose a Rax just like that. Play hard getting caught out as well, and well, I hope he didn't blink because 4 quickly fall, a buyback come out from the LC, and already 1 Rax to fall. This escalated rather quickly as Immunity quickly clear both set of racks and promptly leave. Wow, that was hot and heavy real quick.
And they've still got the Aegis in hand with a decent duration as well. Okay, 1.5 minutes, maybe not the best, but if they want to go again, they theoretically could, but maybe without the Ravage, they're going to have to just wait for this Aegis to time out and come up with some new plan. But Shatan is getting very far. 3k gold on him now to go with his Desolator. And actually, no, the Aegis only lasts 5 minutes. It's gone already. This is the new Aegis timer.
Yeah,
completely forgot about that one.
6.28, man. All no more long duration Aegis. You got to make sure you make use of it quickly. And I think they were well aware of that. Pushing that bottom lane, they knew they didn't have all the time in the world, and you know they made good use of that pressure and get the job done. And they're not letting up just yet. As I was questioning their late game, they're definitely looking to get this thing wrapped up probably quickly. But look at that. They jump in, they're making it go, but that Guardian Angel in hand is going to help them from now. This duel going to be to no avail as they also back it up with a very nice epicenter. The snowball going to aid temporarily here, but they do manage to jump back out. And for Balls to try to sustain them out. And look at this jump back in coming out from Shatan. Looking to go toe-to-toe. Oh, one more auto attack. The Tusk gets away with just 100 life, and they turn it back on that TA. Big bounty reward, I'm sure, and Balls falls as well. Jumping Burrow Strike was, might have a misplay, gets slammed up with a big uppercut. A huge triple kill. I don't even want to look at how much gold he's got. Let's see. Nature's Prophet, 2.3k. So,
got the fight recap. 4.5k gold swing. Wow. 3.4k gold earned by Mineski and 1,000 gold lost by Immunity. So there's your comeback mechanic in play.
The one thing I have to say though about this fight recap, does it have to be so big and right in the middle of my screen? If I'm trying to like simultaneously watch the action on the map, it's like all over my face. So, you know, something that I'd have to say BTS do a little bit better is keeping it on the side. I have to be biased.
K-pop Toasters may still have a job.
Yeah, I don't have to, be a little biased with that one, but yeah, but good to have a little bit of extra feature. But man, huge swing back for Mineski on that one, and I mean, there's your new patch coming to work here, allowing for the comeback factor as they go back towards this tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Those Treants going to town, and Leshrek here trying to quickly take them down hand in hand with the Tidehunter. And they do so it takes a big damage, but still, Team Immunity well in front here with that first Rax takedown here. But now they have to play a little more cautious. They can't just carelessly hand things away, because with that big bounty reward system coming out, if you're well in the head, you got to play just a little more cautiously to not hand things over like that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The Rax advantage will be nice, but it's that fight's a wake-up call. Like, okay, we haven't won this game just yet, and Mineski can look to turn this one around very quickly if we're not careful. Shatan and Jacko run into each other. Jacko invis here, though. So, Shatan should be okay. He's not really... Ooh, he's actually going to bleed forward.
Oh, he's slowing him down. He pulls out the trap, and it forces them to get the Moonlight Shadow here. And, well, with no detection, they can't really pursue. And, well, thankfully for Jacko to be there and Viz to scout out the TA, Tusk was well unaware, because otherwise he would have been easily caught out. So, Jacko there to the aid, does promptly jump to that bottom lane. But top lane, got to be cautious here. You do have Q still flirting around in this top lane. He's going to go into the opponent's jungle and look to make a push happen from this mid lane and divert the attention elsewhere as they do clean out this tier 2 tower. Fortification going to be popped. Jumping Ravage as he tries to lock him in place, but oh no, the swift blink as he gets away from it. And actually pursuit to catch out here on Q. No more Moonlight Shadow to save you, my friend, as he gets slammed home. Shatan with the swift pick off there, sends Tux back in.
Yeah, bit awkward for the Tidehunter, but yeah, I don't think there's any buts. That's just a bit awkward, that Tidehunter Ravage, but
so, luckily they do manage to get something for it, that Tusk, trying to play it, cute. I hate to say it like that as a pun, but he does move off to the jungle and just gets caught out rather quickly. And now with advantage in numbers for now, Immunity look to push on forward. Only 10 seconds left on the death timer for Tusk, but this is going to be a tier 2 to fall. It looked like they tried to go for the deny there from Play Hard, but not going to be so lucky with that one. Immunity still adding some pressure here. We'll see if they decide to commit for this one. And it looks like they might. They're going to push the high ground. They have Leshrek and that Edict to add the extra bit of damage. And nope, they know from last fight they don't want to be losing too much. So they add the pressure. They fall back, and well, Roshan is up if they want to move into the pit. And, well, they do see a side pitch coming out from Jacko. Jacko does promptly TP away thereafter. But here we go. They're going to segue potentially here right into the Roche pit if they'd like.
Yeah, even mid lane, like, sure they don't get the tower or anything, but it's still like a free 500 damage, and Aegis would be fantastic, but Mineski, hot pursuit, do have an arrow, they're firing in, they want to contest this.
Catches right into the face of Cynical right there, but Roche is already very, very low, so There's your Ice Shards actually conveniently
Crimson
locking
Guard.
him in place, but the Crimson Guard able to help out in need. Burrow Strike, though, is going to catch here on Jesse Bash, and it's Crystal Maiden trying to step away from this one, but not going to be so. Oh, God, they're trying to catch her. The Moonlight Shadow going to help so long, and she puts herself in the corner and gets promptly taken down. And the leap away from Playhard TP. Oh, the Burrow Strike just a hair too late, unfortunately, but regardless, though, still a swift takedown of that Roche is going to allow Immunity to get that Aegis into the hand of Shaitan once more.
Yeah, last time Aegis was a lane of Rex's, and I have a feeling this time it's going to be a similar story if Immunity can group up with their ultimates and make it go at this mid lane. So Mineski going to have to be ready for that high ground defense, which is going to be very tricky against the Immunity Aegis. Repel TA in the front lines with the Desolator can just slowly bring down this tower. It's not even that slow when you've got the Desolator damage. And sure, you've got Diffusal, you can try and engage on the TA by purging off the Repel. Problem is, you've got an Aegis, so you're gonna have to kill the TA twice.
Yep, so, as their cooldowns, actually everything's up and available here for Immunity. I guess they could just wait it out a bit, farm it up. They do have some time to work with on that Aegis before it expires, but then I would imagine they're going to consider going for that Death Ball push, and with all ults in hand and available and your Guardian Angel, and I would imagine they might consider going for the final blow here. Your arrow to fly out is not going to be on the mark, but it's going to be on Mineski here to try to defend.
I think Tide's just doing his last little bit of pushing out the top lane before he makes a beeline towards mid, and those mid Raxes here. With Immunity out somewhat seen back in their own jungle, so maybe waiting for another item or two. Tide is just 800 away from a Refresher Orb. Omni Knight, yeah, that's okay. I thought he must be close to an egg. He's got the full thing, so Omni's good to go. Leshek with his Bloodstone, he's good to go. Sand King's pretty good to go. Just the Refresher on Tide is the one kind of luxury item that they're waiting for, and Tide can farm it and they'll still have the Aegis if they want to try and wait for that before they go for a push.
Yeah, that would definitely be the safe bet, and I'm really nervous at that point for Mineski and how they're going to defend it out. It's very apparent, at least in my opinion, based on their draft, they were planning on being the aggressors in this one. I mean, you're talking about picking up an LC who really hasn't got a whole lot done, only 10 bonus damage at 31 minutes, constantly forced to be on the defense. Crystal Maiden, as we already had been digging on, has really not been on the offensive or helping out with that too much. Tusk has been playing a lot with the Snowball, but pretty much using it a lot more defensively. And, well, there, mid lane, play hard, got to be careful, but the jumping Burrow Strike catches cute. Oh, the Snowball in desperation, and, well, sit in that ball and say some prayers, blink to get up to the high ground, but hey, Shaitan's there to welcome you with open arms as he quickly rips you down. And no buyback available here for the Tusk, and has about 35 seconds if Team Immunity want to push on forward and try to make it into the base.
Yeah, Glyph available for Mineski, but that's just going to delay. It's not going to be able to turn this one around, and we'll see. Immunity, I think they are going to go high ground, as you suggest. Put the Repel on the TA, bring down the tower, and then force Mineski to really make a play and engage, which is not something Mineski want to do, and to ravage into Epicenter, into Guardian Angel.
Here we go. They get the ascend the staircase, if you will, pull out the edict that's going to immediately pull out the fortification, but this could be the last moments here for Mineski, as with all ultimates available in their arsenal. I mean, Tidehunter is relatively close to this Refresher if they want to wait one more second, but I think they're going to feel a little impatient here if they want to just go off with the one single Ravage instead. Arrow to fly. Ooh, balls. Steps aside on that one and will not get caught out. And they actually instead converge to the top lane and just kind of secure a 2-2 tower instead. So that will eliminate all outer towers here for Mineski. And they're going to be corralled back into their base and a bit suffocated. Oh, the blink forward from Shaitan going pretty aggressive here. And Cute does swiftly sidestep. And there's your Ravage jump in coming out once. Epicenter, I would imagine, to follow shortly after. A quick takedown of that Crystal Maiden. There's your Snowball. Cute trying to turn the corner to get away from this one. The swift blink to get away as they still go on pursuit here. And Shaitan there. But here's your duel coming out. Guardian Angel instantly to counter any sort of duel. Burrow Strike to follow. No Epicenter necessary as they already take down 3. And I would imagine this is going to be the beginning of the end on this one.
Radiant's middle
I don't think Mineski ever come back. The Prophet's trying to do his best here and there to cut off waves, to go for the split push, but he hasn't even come close to breaking the tier 3 tower of Rex, so he's slightly delaying Immunity, but Immunity already on the high ground. They've been on the high ground for the last minute or so, and Raxes have fallen, and Prophet's just kind of looking around like, well, I can't fight I'm not split pushing, but I don't really want to die with my team right now.
Yeah, this is going to be it. They're already splitting the team. They have Leshrek and Shaitan working hand in hand, taking out the mid set of racks. The other three are taking out the top set of racks. This is going to be your megas, and for Mineski, their last game in Starladder, you know, it's a tough pill to swallow to see your tournament end right here on this kind of a note, being 9-20. But you know, Immunity, the team that did have the lower record, putting on a pretty good show here with their formidable team, and Shaitan snowballing pretty successfully. And speaking of snowballs, trying to make a go on Tusk, who snowballs on his own right and uses that blink. And it's fun to be able to get away, but when you're constantly on the defensive, as Mineski have been, you're just not putting out any offense altogether, and they've been constantly on the back foot this whole game, and Immunity have pretty much been taking control.
Dire's structures are fortified.
We learned that CM is still not a particularly good hero, maybe. I mean, this is not a big sample size, but we've got some stuff to take away from this game, maybe. But, yeah, as it stands, Immunity, yeah, just solid all-around play here. And we'll get some last-minute kills.
Fountain diving on the new fountain here. It's going to be a lot trickier. They don't have proper vision, so already they're struggling with it. High ground freezing field lasts for maybe a hot second before she gets instantly one shot down from Shaitan. And while they step back, they got their mega creeps. Mineski, they're going to wait till the ever last moment, I guess, to see their shrine fall.
This is a Mineski thing. Yeah. Even going back to the Dota 1 days, they would just never call GG. It would always be, until their throne has 1 HP, they're not calling GG. They'll play to the very, very end. It's not just a Mineski thing. It's like a Filipino thing. Part of the the Dota culture there is that you let your opponents have fun fountain farming if that's it, but you also just don't give up until the very last. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting watching them. I never quite fully got the reasoning for it, but it's something that I find quite interesting.
I mean, I can see some use for it if it's a series like a best of 3. You can already start using that time to plot out how you want to do things in the second game. But of course, tonight, these are best of 1s, 2 best of 1s here, and it's been I guess an entertaining opener, but the main event is going to be the game to follow here. Look at this, Guardian Angels, they dive forward. Oh boy, this is this is a clean house, and there's your GG. The Shrine's going to fall. A fun little entertaining opening act, you could say, but we got the main event to follow right here, as it's going to be JR, going to be going against Execration, and if Execration wins this matchup, they're going to make the trip to the land of Starladder, so I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, this is the biggest match. It's just so awesome that it came down to the final match of the group stage to decide who goes to the LAN finals. I mean, the odds are by the time you get to the last game, it's probably already decided. It could just be a match between 2 of the bottom teams, and even if you get a top team, it could be that, hey, it's the first place team against a team who doesn't have a shot. So the fact we get this scenario where this is the match which matters for everything is just a great way to end SEA.
Yep, so we're going to go ahead and take this moment to send props to both Team Mineski and Team Immunity on their Starladder run, but that is going to wrap things up for both of them. But up next, as you said, an exciting main event matchup between J.